You know, in the world of motorsports, it's all about those razor-thin margins. The difference between winning and losing can come down to split-second decision, a tiny bit of luck, or sheer talent. Most drivers out there are chasing perfection, pushing their limits, trying to shave off every possible millisecond. But then, there are those drivers who stand out for entirely different reasons. There are the ones who don't just miss the mark, they completely blow past it in the wrong direction. Today, we're diving into the career of one such driver, Mahaveer Raghunathan. His name has become almost legendary, but not for the reasons anyone would want. How did he earn the title of the worst racer in Formula 2 history? Let's take a look. Mahaveer Raghunathan was born on November 17, 1998, in Chennai, India. Chennai has a surprisingly rich motorsport culture, being home to the Madras Motor Racetrack, one of the most prominent racing circuits in the country. This track has seen many talented drivers rise through its ranks, and it's where Mahaveer first caught the racing bug. But here's where things start to get interesting. Unlike most of his peers, who were tearing up go-kart tracks before they could even reach the pedals, Mahaveer didn't start until he was 13, in a sport where most drivers start as toddlers. 13 is like starting your homework the night before it's due. But hey, he drove in anyway. His karting career, however, didn't exactly light up the racing scene. There are no significant wins or notable performances recorded during his karting days, which is usually the first indication of whether a driver has talent to make it in the big leagues. Yet, Mahaveer quickly moved from karting to single-seater racing, making his debut in 2012 JK Racing Asia Series at just 14 years old. Right from the jump, it was clear that Mahaveer was, and not in a good way, he was just off the pace. He was barely on the map. In a series designed to shape future stars, Mahaveer was more like the kid who showed up late to class and sat in the back, hoping no one noticed. Still, Mahaveer wasn't ready to give up. He moved on to the MRF Challenge, a prominent series in India that has seen drivers like Mick Schumacher and Pietro Fittipaldi come through its ranks. But once again, his results were less than stellar. Even with the home field advantage on a track he knew like the back of his hand, he found himself consistently staring at the rear ends of his competitors' cars. In the 2015 MRF Challenge, he participated in 10 races and managed to score only 22 points, placing him 16th out of the 18 drivers in the championship standings. These are the kinds of numbers that suggest a driver might need to reconsider their career choice. Mahaveer was undeterred. In 2014, Mahaveer decided to take things up a notch by joining the Italian Formula 4 Championship. Now, Italian F4 is no joke. This is where future stars like Lance Stroll and Mick Schumacher made their names. The competition is fierce, and the tracks are some of the most challenging in the world. But from the get-go, it was clear that Mahaveer was in way over his head. He had teamed up with the F&M Racing, a team with a solid reputation, but no amount of support could make up for his lack of speed. Over the course of the 2014 season, Mahaveer competed in 18 races and managed to score a grand total of 0 points. That's right, not a single point. He often found himself at the back of the grid, struggling to keep pace with his more experienced and faster peers. His best finish was a 14th place, far from the podium finishes needed to attract attention from higher-tier teams. But instead of taking a hint, Mahaveer kept pushing forward. He joined the European Formula 3 Championship, a series that's practically a factory for future Formula 1 stars. Just to give you an idea, drivers like Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon were competing in the series around the same time. But once again, Mahaveer was out of his depth. He was consistently the slowest driver on the grid, often trailing by multiple seconds per lap. It wasn't just he was losing, he was so far back that it was like he was in a different race entirely. During the 2015 Euroformula Open Championship, Mahaveer participated in 16 races and scored just 7 points, finishing 19th out of the 20 drivers in the standings. His performances were so poor that by the end of the season, he was more of a backmarker than a serious competitor. Even in the Masters of Formula 3, a one-off event that attracts the best young talent from around the world, Mahaveer was nowhere near the frontrunners, finishing well outside the points. By 2016, Mahaveer had decided to try his hand at the GP3 series, a direct feeder to Formula 1. The GP3 series is known for its intense competition and is a proving ground for the most talented drivers. It was here that drivers like Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc honed their skills before moving up to Formula 1. This was a bold move for Mahaveer, but it didn't take long for reality to set in. Mahaveer's time in GP3 was brief and, predictably, a disaster. He competed in just one round at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that demands precision and speed. Mahaveer, however, was neither precise nor fast. He qualified dead last and finished the race in 24th place, a full lap behind the leaders. His performance was so far off the pace that it was clear GP3 was beyond his capabilities. Realizing that GP3 wasn't going to work out, Mahaveer made the surprising decision to shift his focus to the Auto GP series. By 2016, AutoGP was a shadow of its former self, more like a weekend hobby for rich guys than a serious racing series. The series had merged with the Boss GP Championship, which was more of a playground for wealthy amateurs racing older Formula 1 and GP2 cars. Despite the lower level of competition, Mahaveer still struggled. In a field largely composed of gentleman drivers, wealthy enthusiasts racing for fun, Mahaveer found himself consistently outpaced. During the 2016 AutoGP season, he managed to finish only 7th in the standings, despite the dwindling number of competitors. His best finish was a 4th place, which, given the circumstances, wasn't much to write home about. In 2017, it seemed like things might be turning around for Mahaveer when he won the Boss GP Formula Class Championship, but before you get too excited, let's add a little context. The Boss GP Championship isn't exactly where the pros go to prove themselves. It's more like a playground for wealthy enthusiasts who want to relive their glory days. Most of the drivers aren't trying to make it into Formula 1. They're just having fun. Mahaveer's main rival that season, Johan Ledemir, missed several races, so the title kind of fell into his lap. Even then, Mahaveer wasn't exactly dominating the field. Out of the 14 races he participated in, he managed to win only 4, with his victories coming more from attrition than outright speed. His victory in the championship felt more like a consolation prize than a real achievement, especially given that the competition was far from the level he would later race in Formula 2. Despite everything, Mahaveer somehow secured a seat in Formula 2 for the 2019 season with MP Motorsport. Formula 2 is the final proving ground before Formula 1, where only the most talented drivers succeed. For Mahaveer, it was a monumental leap, and as you might have guessed, it didn't go well. Right from the first race in Bahrain, it was clear that Mahaveer was out of his league. He was consistently the slowest driver on the grid, often trailing by several seconds per lap. His qualifying performances were dismal, and finding himself 2 to 3 seconds off the pace of the pole sitter. In Formula 2, where the entire field is typically separated by just a few tenths of a second, this kind of gap is enormous. But what really made headlines was his erratic and sometimes downright dangerous driving. In one infamous incident during the Bahrain sprint race, Mahaveer completed an extra lap at full speed after being lapped by the leaders, nearly causing chaos on the track. This mistake earned him one of the many penalties that will later come to define his Formula 2 career. Mahaveer quickly became a magnet for penalties. In Formula 2, drivers accumulate penalty points for infractions, and once they hit a certain number, they get banned from racing. Mahaveer's season became a farce as he racked up penalty points like they were going out of style. By the end of the season, he had accumulated a staggering 24 penalty points, the highest in the series history at the time. His antics on the track didn't help either. At the Monaco Grand Prix, he was penalized for failing to slow down under yellow flags, a serious safety infraction that put both marshals and other drivers at risk. This added to the already growing list of mistakes and penalties that Mahaveer had accumulated over the season. Despite all the setbacks, Mahaveer's Formula 2 season wasn't entirely without highlights, if you can call them that. At the Monza sprint race, he somehow managed to finish 10th, scoring his only points of the season. But let's be honest, this was more due to the chaos on track than any skill on his part. A series of collisions and mechanical failures among the frontrunners allowed Mahaveer to sneak into the points, but it did little to improve his reputation. As the season wound down, Mahaveer's performance continued to spiral. By the time the final races rolled around, he had accumulated enough penalty points to earn a second race ban, though it wouldn't take effect until the following season. His season ended with a whimper, as he retired in Abu Dhabi after a bizarre incident where he failed to navigate a turn properly and damaged his car. His inability to even exit his car properly after the incident became yet another embarrassing moment in a season full of them. After the 2019 season, Mahaveer tested again with MP Motorsport in the postseason tests at Abu Dhabi, leading to speculation that he might return for another year in Formula 2. However, MP Motorsport ultimately decided to move on, and Mahaveer was left without a seat for 2020. His career in top-tier motorsport had effectively come to an end, and he faded into obscurity. So, what went wrong? Many have speculated that Mahaveer's rise through the ranks was more about financial backing than talent. In motorsport, money can open doors, but it can't buy talent. Mahaveer's story highlights the dangers of prioritizing financial support over skill. His inability to improve despite years of racing experience raises serious questions about the processes that allowed him to reach such a high level of competition. Despite his lack of success, Mahaveer has left an unforgettable mark on the world of motorsport. He became a bit of a cult figure, remembered more for his blunders than for anything he achieved on track. His career serves as a reminder of the importance of balancing financial backing with genuine talent in motorsport.